Hello student, as a part 2 we are discussing the working of institutions. Last day we have discussed the parliament, the power of the parliament and the house of the parliament. But today we will discuss its two houses like the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Actually we know the Lok Sabha is directly elected by the people. The member of elected for the term of 5 years. The council of ministers is responsible for the Lok Sabha. It is more powerful than the Rajya Sabha and it is also called the lower chamber of the house. The Rajya Sabha, it is indirectly elected by the member of the state legislative assembly. Its member have a term of 6 years. It is permanent body and not dissolved. One third of the member retire every 2 years. 12 member of the Rajya Sabha nominated by the president from those persons who have excelled in sports, arts, science, literature, and social services. Okay. Now next, it has 250 members. Actually, Rajya Sabha member 250. The Vice President of India is ex-officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Now we see here the comparison of the power of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Okay. Uh, our constitution given the Rajya Sabha some special power over the state, but one most matter of the Lok Sabha exercise is supreme power, and it is more powerful than the Rajya Sabha. Okay. Any ordinary law needs to be passed by the both houses, but if there is a difference between the two houses, the final decision is taken in the joint session in which the member of the both house sit together and vote. Because of large number of member, the view of the Lok Sabha is likely to prevail in such a meeting. Lok Sabha exercises more power in money matters. Once the Lok Sabha passes budget of the government or any other money related law, the Rajya Sabha cannot reject it. The Rajya Sabha can only delay it by 14 days or suggest changes in it. Lok Sabha may or may not accept these changes. Most importantly, Lok Sabha control the Council of Ministers. Council of Ministers, only a person who enjoys the support of the majority of the member of the Lok Sabha is appointed by the Prime Minister. If the majority of the Lok Sabha member say they have no confidence in the Council of Ministers, all the ministers, including the Prime Minister, have to quit. And Rajya Sabha does not have this power. Now today we will discuss on this topic political executive. At a different level of the government, we find functionaries who take day-to-day decisions but do not exercise supreme power on behalf of the people. All these functionaries are collectively known as executive. They are called executive because they are in charge of the execution of the policies of the government. Thus, when we talk about the government, we usually mean the executive. Now, the political and permanent executive body. In a democracy, two categories make up the executive. Political executive, it is elected by the people for the specific period that is called the political executive. Political leaders who take the big decisions fall in this category. Permanent executive, the people in this category are appointed on a long-term basis. That is called permanent executive civil services. Persons working in civil services are called civil servants. They may remain in office even when the ruling party changes. These officers work under the political executive and assist them in carrying out the day-to-day administration. Political executive more powerful than the permanent executive. The civil servants is usually more educated and has more experts knowledge of subject than the ministers. The advisors working in the finance ministry know more about the economics than the finance minister. But the minister has the final say on most matters because in democracy, the will of the people is supreme. The minister is elected by the people and thus empowered to exercise the will of the people on their behalf. The minister are finally answerable to the people for all the consequences of their decisions. That is why the minister take all the decisions. Now the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. Prime Minister is the most important political institution in the country. The President appoints the Prime Minister, but the President cannot appoint anyone who likes. President appoints the leader of the majority party or coalition of parties that commands a majority in the Lok Sabha as a Prime Minister. Prime Minister does not have a fixed tenure. He continues in power so long as he remains the leader of the majority party or coalition. After the appointment of the Prime Minister, the President appoints other ministers on advice of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is usually from party or the coalition that has majority in the Lok Sabha. Prime Minister is free to choose ministers as long as they are a member of the parliament. Sometimes a person who is not the member of parliament can also become the minister. Okay. Now Council of Ministers. Council of Ministers is the official name for the body that include all the ministers. It usually has 60 to 80 ministers of different ranks. Cabinet ministers. Cabinet ministers are usually top level leaders of the ruling party or parties who have in charge of the major decision ministers. Cabinet is thus the inner ring of the Council of Ministers. It comprises about 20 ministers. Minister of the State with the independent charge. These ministers are usually in charge of the smaller ministries. They participate in the cabinet meeting only when especially invited. Now, Minister of State. They are attached to or required to assist cabinet minister. Since it is not practical for all ministers to meet regularly and discuss everything, the decisions are taken in cabinet meeting. That is why parliamentary democracy is most countries is often known as cabinet form of the government. The cabinet work as a team. Ministers may have different views and opinions, but everyone has to up to every decision of the cabinet. No ministers can only criticize any decision of the government, even if it is about another minister or department. Okay. The cabinet as a team is assisted by the cabinet secretariat. These include many senior civil servants who try to coordinate the working of the different ministers. Now next we will see here powers of the prime ministers. As the head of the government, the prime minister has a wide ranging power. He coordinates the work of the different department. His decisions are final in case a disagreement arises between department. He exercises general supervision of the different ministers. All ministers work under his leadership. Prime Minister distributes work to the ministers. All the ministers are appointed by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister. He has also the power to dismiss ministers. When the Prime Minister quits, the entire ministry quits. If the cabinet is the most powerful institution in India, within the cabinet it is the Prime Minister who is the most powerful. The power of the Prime Minister have increased so much that parliamentary democracy are sometimes seen as ministerial form of the government. Prime Minister control the cabinet and parliament through the party. Okay, and the extent of the power widely by the Prime Minister who depend upon personality of the person holding that positions. Now next we are discussing next time the President. Okay.